these teams find a winner. What a ball from Elrich. Goodwin cuts it back. There's the winner! Sergio Thirio! And Cooper's Stadium explodes into a wall of noise. Well, opportunity knocks once again for Adelaide United this evening, with Melbourne Victory's game postponed last night and Perth not in action until tomorrow. The Reds can steal a march in the race for the Premiership by making it a three-way crush at the top of the ladder, separated by just 1 point. Standing in their way, a Western Sydney Wanderers team whose pre-match preparations probably didn't include watching the video of their last trip here. That night, they were absolutely pummeled. The 2-0 scoreline, hardly a reflection of the Reds' dominance on a night when Nikolai Topor-Stanley was also sent off. Here's the team news. One change for the Reds, which sees last week's goal scorer Pablo Sanchez drop out to allow Bruce Jitte to return at the point of attack. Tariq Elrich, who provided the assist for that Sanchez strike against Perth, is up against his former club. Nigel Bogard still unavailable with that knee problem, so Dylan McGowan continues alongside Osama Malik in defence. Now, 3 changes from the Wanderers team that were denied late on by Newcastle. Yusuke Tanaka is rested, with Brendan Hamill filling his spot at right fullback and Mats Baranovic moving back into the centre of defence. The vacancy in midfield needs a return for Jacopo La Rocca for the first time since New Year's Day. Sam Galloway comes in for the suspended Anthony Golic at left-back, while Brendan Santalab replaces Tomi Juric in the striking role. Santalab looking for his 3rd goal in 3 games, despite playing just 27 minutes in 2 substitute appearances. 2 very attacking-looking benches, Sanchez, Goodwin and Mobile in reserve for the Reds, while Romeo Castellan is available again after injury, and he joins Tomi Juric on the bench for the Wanderers. Joseph Gombau, who re-emphasised the mantra of style over substance last week after the 1-1 draw with Perth, but the Reds' tendency to fade out over the last couple of games will surely be causing him a little bit of concern. Tony Popovic received the dreaded vote of confidence from his chairman Paul Lederer yesterday, but there are few happy memories of Adelaide this season, not just that league defeat here in December, but of course an FFA Cup loss to Adelaide City as well last August. And it's the Wanderers in their change strip of all white who get the ball rolling. The countdown very much on towards the business end of the season. 10 matches to go for the Reds, 12 for the Wanderers. Both teams aspiring to be higher on the ladder by the end of the weekend than where they start, Andy Harper.
Yeah, g'day, Simon. What a great night. It's a little warm, but I concur with your opening remarks about the wonder of this place. Hindmarsh Stadium, Cooper Stadium, the spiritual home of football. It just looks magnificent. We'll play great tonight as a playing surface. It'll suit Adelaide United, and the big question is whether the Western Sydney Wanderers can contain the home team.
Well, they've made a decent start. Labanot Haliti has earned them a corner inside 30 seconds, which Takahagi is preparing to take. Sporanovic Lectum didn't quite get there, only partly clear. Fired back in by Haliti. And it'll be set up a second time by Matteo Poliak, left out of the Champions League squad this week. Hooked into the box by La Rocca and rather screwed towards goal by Haliti and turned over the top by Galekovic. This is Sergio Thirio, one of several Adelaide players who've recommitted in recent weeks. Good steal by La Rocca and perfectly fair in the opinion of Peter O'Leary, and Takahagi with the outside of the boot looking to return it to the Italian. And it's tidied up by McGowan. Thirio found the gap splendidly for James Jago. And this looks promising for the Reds. Wide right is Miguel Palanca. He should be able to chase it down, which he does. Faced by Sam Galloway. Cross took a slight deflection, which favoured Ante Kovic.
Well, good open game to start here. They're in trouble again here.
Then comes the cross towards Santalab. Will then give chase and was really determined to try and win it ahead of Malik, and he's done his shoulder. Oh dear. Brendan Santalab is in real pain. Fallen awkwardly. And that's, well, I hope, I don't know for sure, Tony Popovic knows. Is that the shoulder that kept him out for several months.
He's going to give it a go, but you've got to admire the guy's physical resilience.
Teed up again by Isaias. Little chip forward, and Karuska's onside here, and he guides it towards Jite. Well, perhaps he didn't get a shout there because Karuska was in the clear, and if he could have touched the ball on towards goal, surely he would have been in there.
So good contests emerging all over the park.
Again, the diagonal ball, looking for and finding Thirio, delivers into an area, and it was a really good cross. Put behind by Topos Stanley.
Pretty textbook too for Adelaide as well. The pinpoint diagonal pass. The magnificent first touch to keep the attack moving forward.
Over the right fullback, he's just being saved for the Champions League trip during the week. This is Malik. Thirio. Again, they try and squeeze the field, the Wanderers, but to no great effect, and Elrich has got time here. Cross will pop out towards Isaias, and he puts it over the crossbar.
And Thirio on the near touchline drifts inside. This is the closing stages of the action, with Isaias having a crack at goal.
Thirio beaten in the air, perhaps no surprise there. Was there a foul there by Malik? Play continues, and now he will blow the whistle and bring them back for the infringement. And well, they made a bright start, the Wanderers, forcing 2 corners in the opening minutes. They've been pushed back since then. They've got a chance here. Topos Stanley and Hamill lurking. Back post. Spranovic too. Lekovic came early. Quite get the distance he wanted. Back in by Santala. There's the goal. Lebanon Haliti. Onside, the Wanderers lead. On his 150th A-League appearance, Lebanon Haliti for the Western Sydney Wanderers. His first goal against the Reds in 16 matches.
Well, he, like his teammates, has looked very lively in the opening period of this game. Free kick swings in deep. Galekovic gets 2 fists to it, but the ball goes high, not long. And Santalev hooks the ball in. It's line ball. It's line ball. Haliti positions himself and finishes calmly. Galekovic appeals forlornly, in vain. Wanderers up 1-0. He's not looking to hide, Brendan, nor are the Wanderers. A very vibrant start.
LaRocca chipping it through, and Rukovic has stolen a march on McGowan. What a save from Eugene Galekovic. Just stuck out that big left paw, and Tony Popovic knows that was a big, big chance for the Wanderers to put daylight between themselves and the Reds.
Well, Socceroos teammates from the World Cup in 2010, and Galekovic positioned himself, wondering, does Nikita Rukovic take the chance with that right foot, which is not his preference?
Third corner for the Wanderers. Takahagi with the outswinger flicked on at the near post, and LaRocca just lost his bearings for a moment. Elrich. Neat fake to get rid of Takahagi. Tries to puncture the lines to get Bruce Jite in behind. Well anticipated by Spranovic, and now with Takahagi for the Wanderers. And straight into Malik. And he's lost his headband, the Japanese midfielder. The more concern is the through ball for Thirio. And Kovic smartly off his line. Jego. Now there's a bit of room here for Palanca. 3 wait for the cross. Oh, and the cutback was not the right option. It was well read too by LaRocca. And again, the Wanderers have defended that reasonably well.
But the transition wasn't great. Well, if that pass from Rukovic sticks, or Tommy Uric doesn't run.
Now Thirio's onside this time. Spranovic giving chase. And his presence was enough. Goal kick.
Because those transition moments, if the Wanderers don't make the most of them, Adelaide will come straight back at you, as they did. Brilliantly found. But look at the work from Spranovic. It's really excellent defending. Didn't even make a touch in the end, but the pressure was on Thirio. Given the conditions, it's been a really good half of football in general. And this is Tarek Elrich
setting off on one of his mazy dribbles, and there's no foul by Morocco. Peter O'Leary says that's shoulder to shoulder. The whole stadium is out of its seat protesting at that one.
Yeah, I don't agree with that one. I think that's a free kick on Tarek Elrich.
Peter O'Leary waited and waited and waited before blowing his whistle. And eventually thought, blow this, and he did. Quickly taken over the top by the Reds, and Thirio and Kovic out to meet him and stood up really well. That's excellent experienced goalkeeping by Ante Kovic. Oh, that's a blatant foul by Polyak. It's going to be the first yellow card of the game, rightly so.
Brilliant touch, Thirio. Looking to get some advantage back in this second half. That's fantastic by the Spaniard, agricultural by the Croatian.
Isaias outside of the boot. Barodi trying to flick it on. And there goes the half-time whistle. Well, considering the conditions, that's been a terrific half of football. We've had a couple of injuries, unfortunately, as well, to Santalab of the Wanderers and Malik for Adelaide United, both of whom have had to leave the park. The quality of the football from the Reds has been pretty good, but chances have been few and far between. And the Wanderers have defended well, and crucially for Tony Popovic's team, they have a goal thanks to Labinot Haliti. So at the break, on a stinking hot night in South Australia, it's the Wanderers, perhaps set for their first away win of the season. We shall see. Adelaide United 0, Western Sydney Wanderers 1 at the break. And Joseph Gombau is going to make a change at the start of this second period. Awa Mobile is standing by to come off the bench. Here come the Wanderers. They've had to make one enforced change of their own, of course, thanks to the injury to Brendan Santalab. There's his replacement, Tommy Juric. Osama Malik off for Craig Goodwin for the Reds, of course, through injury as well. This confirmation that Awa Mobile is replacing the Spaniard. Miguel Palanca not quite up to speed or fitness yet, perhaps, with the Hyundai A-League. They've got 45 minutes to turn it around. Adelaide United, they've not been able to defend a lead over the last 2 weeks. Andy Harper, let's see what they're like chasing a game.
Good question to be posed of them. Test their championship bona fides. I don't think there's any doubt that on their day, Adelaide United can beat any team in the competition. They face this little test at the moment, Simon, where they'll learn to believe in themselves if they can push through these difficulties and win those matches which teeter. That's the question that does hover around Adelaide United at the moment.
Good news for the Reds. They've been kept scoreless on just 2 occasions this season, but the stat that will probably please Tony Popovic at half-time was the fact that the Reds had just 1 shot on target in that opening period. This is Isaias, who was very impressive for the Reds despite the scoreline first half, but he's given the ball away there. Tommy Juric out for Nikita Rukovica. Low delivery. And into touch off Dylan McGowan. It's a good release from Polyak. Slight miscontrol by Haliti, which allowed Elrich to steal in.
That's too good. In this vein of form, Tarek Elrich not going to be beaten there.
Floated forward by Topol Stanley off the chest of Juric. Steadied down by Thirio. Karuska, this looks dangerous perhaps for the Wanderers. Jute getting chase, he's there ahead of Kovic! Bruce Jute scores! And Kovic and Hamill got in each other's way. Miscommunication. Bruce Jute arrowed it into the back of the net. And parity is restored.
Well, gee, that's a good finish from Brucey Jute. It's a horrible piece of attacking play by the Wanderers. The ball lumped up to Tommy Juric. Look at that. What's he supposed to do with that? And then there's no support for him. And in that transition, well, it's lethal from Adelaide, and credit to them. Kovic caught in no man's land. Ante will be disappointed that he didn't read that better, maybe. There's Jute with the attention of Spiranovic as well. had to thread the needle. Found by Karuska, speaking of threading the needle. And that's fabulous from Bruce Jitay.
And then Mobile bundled over. Game really livened up now. Quickly taken set piece. Lovely execution from Karuska. Goodwin prods it forward. Thirio there ahead of Sporanovic. And that'll be a corner. The Reds are coming.
Oh, wow. What an injection that goal has given Cooper Stadium.
Karuska's outswinger. Jago meets it. Deflects it wide.
And they look like they're in the mood in this second half. Wanderers otherwise responding well.
Now Sporanovic has got in a right mess and he's dragged down Jitay. It's going to be a card. I think it'll probably just be a yellow, and that's confirmed by Peter O'Leary. Probably wasn't the last man, but he got in an awful tangle there. Ante Kovic. Arguably a goalkeeper mistake, came charging off his line. And Bruce Jitay still had a lot to do, and he did it brilliantly. Karuska, little chip forward, Thirio! Kovic stuck out a leg, and the whistle's gone in favour of the Wanderers. Well, what about the invention there from Marcelo Karuska? Well, now, was that a Brenton Speed moment, Harps?
Maybe.
Wasn't quite a flick up,
a variation thereof. It's good work from Ante Kovic.
Vukovic got a bit fortunate and gave it away to Elrich. Set up again by Jago. Here come the Reds piling forward. Low delivery by Goodwin, only partly cleared by Topol Stanley. Helped on its way by Polyak. But they're stretched the Wanderers. Morone. Looking for the run of Karuska. Who'll get there ahead of Polyak. Oh, lovely first touch. Delivers to the far post. There was Thirio, just hit him. And then subsequently Kovic in behind for a corner. Great action.
It's mouth-watering. The ball over to Marcelo Karuska. You wouldn't have imagined, given his physical status on a week-to-week basis, he would have got to that. Then turned inside beautifully. Have a look at that. And then it's just a forced effort and a forced save. Don't know if Kovic knew much about it, but he was effective in the end.
All hands on deck for the Wanderers. The out-swinging corner, a punch from Kovic. Good distance on it too. McGowan. Juric desperately trying to close him down. Lovely layoff, and Mobile tries to race through. Still with Mobile, turns it back. Jitay blocked by Hamill. Still they come, the Reds. Miscontrol by Karuska, and the Wanderers get it upfield. Takahagi. No foul on Isaias. Here's Castellan. Couple of step overs. And still they go on. It might break kindly for Juric. Eventually Galekovic says, I'll have it.
It so could have, but have a piece of this, says Eugene.
What about that for a release? And here's Mobile. Running at Sam Galloway. He's got to the bar line. Here's the cross. Oh, and Thirio scoops it over the top. It looked easier to hit the target, and Josip Gombau thumps the dugout in frustration. Thirio showing good strength. Under heavy pressure from Sporanovic. Mobile looking to go cross-field. Right idea, good execution. Good take by Goodwin. Decent stop by Kovic. What a ball from Mobile.
And brilliantly brought down by Craig Goodwin, almost at full speed, and then he hit it straight into the guts of Ante Kovic.
Isaias, well found by McGowan. What a flowing move from the Reds. Mobile, Karuska outside him. It's lovely stuff. And it's well taken at the near post by Ante Kovic. Thirio rolls it into the path of Craig Goodwin. Again, Hamill in his way. Goodwin's got better of him first time. And again, looks for Jago, top of the penalty area. Mobile, chance for the Reds, Mobile! Only half a metre wide of that right hand upright. Vukovic. Polyak. Takahagi. Good football by the Wanderers. Juric, again too high. They created some decent openings, Western Sydney. Anyway, play continues. Here's Castellan, nobody outside him, drop of the shoulder, onside, Juric! Saved by Galekovic with the feet at the near post. Gilt-edged opportunity for Western Sydney.
Oh, brilliant action. A massive question by the Adelaide defence, was Tommy Juric onside? Look at the reverse pass from Castellan here. He's so far offside.
Oh, no. Karuska, near touchline, playing him on.
Well, if we get a chance, I'd like to have another look at that. Anyway, should have finished it from that point on.
Takahagi deeper, looking for Sporanovic. Back in it comes. Sporanovic climbs again. Adelaide desperate to clear their lines. There's a bit of afters between Sporanovic and Isaias, and Isaias has gone down. Now, what's the colour of the card here? It's a yellow for Sporanovic. He's already been booked. He's off. Wanderers down to 10. High drama. And Sporanovic, stupid really, as he was on a yellow card. Home fans exhorting their team for one final effort on this hot and sticky night in South Australia. It's been a terrific game of football, second half in particular. One of these teams find a winner. What a ball from Elrich. Goodwin cuts it back. There's the winner! Sergio Thirio! And Cooper's Stadium explodes into a wall of noise. And Tariq Elrich, the architect again, threaded it through. Goodwin with the cutback. Thirio with the finish.
Well, the Wanderers' brave resistance is broken. The 10 men from Western Sydney have been hanging on since Sporanovic was sent off and stretched to breaking point here and lanced by a magnificent pass from Tariq Elrich. Nice cutback from Goodwin. Assured finish from Sirio. Great execution from Adelaide, but the architect, Tariq Elrich. How sweet that moment for the former Wanderer, and how devastatingly cruel for the Wanderers.
They're not quite beaten yet. Juric flicks it towards goal. Galekovic clutches hold of the ball. We're into the 4th minute of stoppage time.
But the Red second half has been superb.
Joseph Gombau wants the full-time whistle. Well, he has got the whistle, but only for a free kick. Wait goes on a little bit longer. Shannon Cole complaining to the linesman off the bench near touchline. Tony Popovic to have a word with him as well. It's been that sort of a second half.
Just listen to Coopers.
It's brilliant.
This is such a great place to be. The city of Adelaide, when their team is flying. This is one of Australia's really great little stadiums.
And those supporters celebrate a win. The Reds, after a quite breathtaking second half, come out on top thanks to that late goal from Sergio Thirio. The Reds back on track after their mini stumble, as they now put the heat on Melbourne Victory and Perth Glory at the top. And Adelaide probably would have had few complaints if the Wanderers were to have taken a point, but they didn't. That late winner from Sergio Thirio means the maximum haul for the home team. Full-time scoreline, Adelaide United 2, Western Sydney Wanderers 1.